In this session, we are looking at the key workshop principles for facilitators. Facilitators, key workshop principles that we need to pay attention. According to EREC's approach, a training workshop is characterized by 5 key principles. So anytime that you are designing a workshop, whether for accountants, for job seekers, for supervisors, for HR, for real estate people, whatever sector you are in, anytime you are designing a workshop, you need to make sure you remember these principles. Principle number 1, every workshop should be learner-centered. It should be learner-centered. A learner-centered workshop is an environment that pays careful attention to the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and the beliefs that participants individually bring to the space, like the question that Joybert asked in the previous session. So in most circumstances, to avoid the situation where you go to a workshop and you prepare to be a facilitative consultant, and you notice that the people do not have the basic foundational knowledge in that industry or that field, make sure that before you even go to the workshop, activate the workshop principle of being learner-centered. That means you pay careful attention to the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and beliefs that the participants individually bring to the space. So you know this before. So you can know the first 2 before, their knowledge and their skills. Maybe you can look at the registration form. In most workshop registration forms, people fill their name, highest qualifications, what they do, their profession, their occupation, or their position in the company, all of that. That is data that you can use to know more, and that is part of learner-centered principle. Then during the workshop itself, you pay attention to the attitude and the belief systems of the participants. Like personally, for example, I like to go to physical workshops early enough so I get to network with the participants. That way I get to know their attitude, where they're coming from, their belief systems. I drive discussions, I know more about them. So I get to know this one is married, what the husband do, what does she do. As long as they are willing to open up to share things about them, I would like to know as much as possible. It helps me in my delivery. It's part of learner-centered. Or sometimes, like our session, like in Zoom sessions, I would like to join 10 minutes early. So that with some time I just chit chat with participants and we do funny comments and all of that. That way, that's another way to get closer to people and try to create that rapport and make people feel comfortable to listen to you after a session with you. Okay, so this principle is very important, a learner-centered training. This is where you, the facilitator, you create an environment where you intentionally pay attention. You intentionally pay attention to the knowledge of your participants, their skill set or their skill level, to their attitude, and to what they believe in. Like, for example, you can be having a money-making workshop and there is a participant who doesn't believe that he or she can make 100 million francs a year or $1 million a year. That's a belief system that you need to find a way to handle that belief system, right? So it's very good to understand that. So workshop design and delivery starts with the consideration of the participants' needs. For you to design the best workshop and for you to determine your best delivery method, where do you need to start? Consider the needs of the participants. Consider the needs of the participants. If you will If you will interview, interview. If you will create a form, create a form. If you will ask for expectations, ask for expectations. If you will do that, but you need to consider the needs of the participants. From the culture of a participant to their race, to their gender, skills, ability, workshop, place emphasis on participants to ensure that the outcomes are responsive to their needs and their realities. So, it's your job to make sure you acquire all of this information. Do you now see why majority, if not all of the workshops, they always create a form of people to fill? This is the major reason. This is a major reason. I mean, workshops that are more general. In our case, it's just a straightforward training session on people that have knowledge and they want to learn how to become professional facilitators to deliver it. So it's easier to have basic data and to go to the group and do further research here and there and know more about the people. Okay, good. The second principle when it comes to a workshop is inclusion sensitive. You need to respect the principle of inclusion. Inclusion sensitive workshops acknowledge that diverse participants bring different experiences and perspectives to a training that can enrich the training experience for all. Yes, that means this is where you, the facilitator, you make up your mind that you are going to accommodate diverse participants. You acknowledge diverse participants. You acknowledge and respect diverse experiences. You acknowledge and respect diverse perspectives. You don't shut people up or ignore people. You are excited to have participants who are Muslims, who are Christians, who are female, who are women and men, who are older and younger, who are from different industries. You are excited, you are looking forward to, and you acknowledge that. And the acknowledgement is to the extent that the different experiences and diverse perspective will contribute to the impact of the training. For example, in this session right now, we have people from different backgrounds. We have people who are learning the session, learning this program to go become facilitators in the finance industry, facilitators in the real estate industry, experts in the healthcare industry. So anytime they are contributing, I expect them to share perspectives and experience and ask questions as per their industry, knowing that they are welcome. Nobody will judge them. Nobody will, I don't expect everybody to be a business expert like me. No, I expect everybody to come from their place of expert and their industry and be happy and openly contribute with that in mind, without being judged, without anybody concluding on them. It means that the principle of inclusion sensitive is actually at work. So it's very important to pay attention to that. So such workshops that respect inclusion sensitivity strive to overcome patterns of exclusion. You don't exclude people because of their connection to a social identity group, which can stop them from fully participating in the training or reduce the dynamics of the training. No, you don't do that. Everybody's welcome, and you create a common ground where everybody can contribute and actively participate. The third principle, of course, which is one of the most important principles that you should see in every workshop, actionable trainings, actionable workshops, focuses on knowledge, skills, and attitudes that have a practical utility and will help participants make an impact. Yes. So any workshop, any training that you are organizing and you are delivering, design the training in a way that it will push people It will help the participants to make impact. The knowledge that you are delivering, the skills that you're delivering, the attitude that you are helping them to build will have practical utility and will help the participants make an impact in their immediate career, immediate life, and immediate business. Let's say you're a career coach. You organize a workshop on CV and cover letter writing. You should be structured in a way that within the workshop, people should leave with completed CVs. They should leave with written CVs that they can submit at any time. Now you have respected the actionable principle. You have respected this particular principle. Let's say you are a graphic design expert and you're organizing a workshop to train other graphic designers. Make sure that as that workshop ends, everybody in that particular workshop should leave that workshop with one completed flyer that they have finished. Now that is respecting the principle of actionable. So after today, when you're designing a workshop as a facilitator, make sure that ask yourself, have I structured this workshop in a way that the participants will practically utilize this knowledge within the workshop and after the workshop? How will this knowledge and skills and attitude help the participants to make impact in their lives immediately and later? So assessing the needs of participants before design allows for training content that is directly, the training content is directly linked to realistic actions that participants can do post-training. Yes, there are actions that they can take post-trainings. So you need to have that in mind as a facilitator. Okay, good. If you are still following and you're learning something, type 7 in the chat box. Just type a 7. I'll tell you why you're typing 7 later. Just type a 7. Are you following? Are you learning something? Type 7. Good. Awesome. When you type 7, it means that you're going to complete the training and be very successful. Yes, we have 7 days in a week. All right, let's proceed. Number 4 is almost linked to the third principle, but its emphasis is more on learning by doing. Experiential and active principle. Experiential learning is learning by doing. So people that practice this particular principle more are people who are doing the session and their focus is to become facilitative consultants. So if you want to become a facilitative consultant, like in the other session that we saw, then you need to make sure that experiential and active principle is a big part of your workshop design. Learning by doing. Learning by doing. Effective learning occurs when direct experience is tied to personal reflection, opportunities to make relevant connections to the experience, and the ability to demonstrate the appropriate use of knowledge and skill. So they learn by doing. Let's take the example of CV writing. You are doing, no, let's take business plan writing. You are doing a teaching, you are doing a workshop on how to write a good business plan. You now explain what executive summary is all about. You now tell them that, oh, you see, a good business plan must have the first and the most important section, which is the executive summary. Your executive summary should be written in a way that when somebody reads that executive summary, they should know your business, they should know the services, they should know where you're located, they should know all the core important things about your business, like the following. Now, you have stated a point. You have communicated some form of knowledge. Now, there is a sample of the business plan with executive summary, which you can show them. You can show them to see. And you can break down that sample for them to see. Then you now give them the task. Write the executive summary there and there. Write the business plan, executive summary there and there. Then they do it. When they are done, you can review and do corrections and you proceed. So you are putting to work learning by doing, experiential and active at the same time. Several activities allow for an active training environment, including, you see, role playing, right? Or you can pair participants for activities. You can create a situation where you pair the participants together. Or you can do movement exercises. That means what people need to move up and down and do things, activities that will make people to move, leave their seat and all of that, which is very important in a workshop. Never organize a workshop without creating a situation that will push people to leave their seat, leave their environment, change their seat, and all of that. It makes the workshop exciting and real time. And of course, the feed principle of any workshop that you do, the feed principle of any workshop that you do should be measurable. 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 In the design process of your workshop, when you are designing your workshop, the careful development of learning objectives that identify the knowledge, skills, or attitudes that will be gained by participants allow for clarity in the measurement of the training success. So, when you are designing your workshop, you, the facilitator, you, the designer or the organizer, it is your job to identify the learning objectives that will focus on anybody who goes through this training, anybody who goes through this workshop, they will learn the following. They will acquire the following knowledge. They will live with the following skills. Now, this also guides you to even develop the workshop curriculum. This even guides you to develop the workshop activities. This guides you to develop the workshop exercises, because there is a certain way that you want to measure the impact of the training or the workshop in the lives of the participants. So, what ways are you going to measure to know that the workshop was successful? Let's say that you are leading a session to teach people how to make a cake. The workshop on cake making, right? That's a workshop. Now, you can now state that you are going to measure the success of this cake making workshop by, number one, how people can understand the step-by-step process to start the cake preparation till the end, and they can explain the process. They must not memorize it, but they understand the step-by-step process. That means you expect them that they can even look at their recipe, read the recipe to you, and explain every step in the recipe. Measurement number two could be that at the end of the workshop, people should be able to prepare cake that somebody can eat. Because it's possible to go through a workshop on cake preparation and prepare cake that will look like food poisoning, right? So you cannot say, okay, you know what? The second measurement is to know that the participants have successfully gone to the training. All of them should prepare a cake that is eatable. You see, so you outline all of these that can enable you to actually rate whether you were successful or not, and where you can face challenges. So anytime you design a workshop, always establish the metrics that you will use to measure the workshop success. What will make this workshop to be successful? Okay, all the participants, when they are done, everybody must have a written business plan completed. 5-page, 10-page business plan. You use that to measure. Okay, so these are the 5 principles that you can follow when you are designing and delivering your workshop. Okay, when you follow these, you will be able to effectively, or you have started the process of becoming a good facilitator. In the other sessions, we'll look at, there are other principles that guide different workshop phases, which we will be breaking down in the course of this program. Any questions about these 5 principles? Raise up your hand.